right. For those of you who got in a little bit early, congratulations, guys. You got the inside scoop. Folks, it is October 1, 2019. You are in absolutely the right place. Congratulations, you made it. I'm super excited you're here. I am super excited for the stuff we're going to show you here tonight. This presentation is going to walk you through exactly what it takes to become successful as an online business owner and how you can finally become your own boss, work from the comfort of your own home, and control your destiny. Sounds like a pretty big laundry list, right? I get it. It's all possible, folks. We're going to show you how it can be possible for you. So to those of you who have already taken action and joined us tonight, I'm super excited you're here. We are coming at you live from a brand new webinar software package. Congratulations to the tech team. It looks like it's working amazingly well. We've got a whole bunch of people you're going to hear from here tonight, folks, that are using the same system. It's a system that's being used by thousands of people now all over the world. It's a system that will work for you if you want it to. And it's this system that's going to get you up and running in the online space. So we're going to walk you through exactly what that looks like here tonight and how that can work for you. My name is Mike. I'm going to be one of your presenters. This handsome man sitting beside me here is Darren.
Hi, everyone. I'm not the other presenter, but I'm going to be answering questions in the chat role. So if this is your first time on one of our webinars, you will see an option there to also log into the chat. You should see already the chat roll on the side, but if you want to participate, you have to log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. So just be aware of that. It's totally optional, but we do always encourage everyone to log into that because you can ask me any questions you want at any time. I do always tell everyone, though, not to get too carried away with a whole bunch of questions right off the bat, because when Mike shares his screen here in a moment, there will be a presentation which should answer most of them. And if not, we'll have a lot of time at the end for Q&A. One thing that we always start off with is where you're from. This is a global business. We got people coming to our webinar now from all over the world and every different time zone. We're on the west coast of Canada here in Vancouver, BC, so you'll see the sun setting behind us as we go on here. But if you put in there where you're from, we'll get started.
All right, gang, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we're going to get right into it, all right? So bear with me here. All right, so there we go. All right, folks, so you're going to hear me say this a couple times tonight, but it is all about how to make you successful in the online space. So guys, if you're trying to find the new recipe for chicken Kiev, I'm sorry, that's the webinar down the road. Folks, tonight is all about getting down to business. So let me do this. While you're getting settled in and telling us a little bit about yourself first, let me go ahead and do the same. I'll start with Darren and I. I guess you could say we are digital nomads. Darren and I have been working online now for years. And the funnest part about that is that we have been helping other people get online and work the same way also for years. And guys, in my experience, we have ran our online businesses, and we've had a few, literally from all four corners of the world at this point. Literally from the castles of Europe, the heights of the Inca Trail, the depths of the Blue Lagoon, even the beautiful beaches of Latin America. And folks, I want you to hear me now. It is possible to work online anywhere in the world. And that's why this is so relevant. This is why it's so relevant to you. And like I said, for us, it's all about helping you more than anything, not only get into the online space, but how you can change your life. And most importantly, frankly, how you can change how you live your life. You know, true, money doesn't make the world go round, but folks, let's be real. The lack of money is one of the biggest stresses that people have in life. In fact, a lot of marriages break up simply because of a lack of money in their relationship. That's a sad thing. So if we can help you here tonight, remove some of that stress in life, well, as far as I'm concerned, we've done a job well done indeed. So this system that I'm going to introduce you to tonight, folks, the most important thing I want you to understand is that it is a system that is built by experts in order to work for the everyday person. Folks, you do not need to be a tech guru. You do not need to have a background in business. This can work for you because we've put together all of the sales tools, all of the training and mentorship, and heck, we've even done all the product research for you so that everything you need is built into one beautiful, seamless little bundle so that you plug in, get up and running, and start seeing results. That right there is why we have the numbers we do and why we've got the success record that we do. So before we go too far down that rabbit hole, I got to introduce you to that other presenter I promised you, folks. So she's coming at us live from Houston, Texas tonight, folks. The beautiful Miss Leanne Romchek, who also uses this same system, guys, and has been for quite a while, you could say, but in the early stages, managed to fire her boss in just 6 weeks and 2 days, thanks to using this system. So, Leanne, why don't you come on here and share a little bit about your story?
Thank you, Mike. Welcome, everybody from all over the world. I think this is fantastic that it has just gone so global. I am Leanne. I am from very hot Texas. It's still very hot down here, but I am super excited that you guys are all here tonight. I'll tell you briefly a little bit about me. I run my online business almost 3.5 years, which I really cannot believe, to tell you the truth. It feels like 20. But prior to coming into this whole digital world, I didn't know a thing about anything, how anything worked, who to contact, who to trust. I didn't know anything at all, and very little technical skills. I come from pharmaceutical sales, and the corporate rat race is where I come from. But I also have 2 kids. You saw a picture of them. They're now 20 and 17. Well, back then they were 16 and 13. And here's the reality is I spent some of their most primitive, the most forming part of their lives, I should say, away from them after school. I wasn't there. I couldn't be there for activities or homework. And when they really, really, really needed me, because I was either stuck in traffic or still working. And so I have a lot of guilt and shame and regrets wrapped around that, to be quite honest. And I got to a point in my life where I literally drew a line in the sand and said, enough is enough. Something has to change. And I'm the only one that can do anything about it. And that is when the online world entered my life at the right exact time. I don't believe in accidents. And I plugged into the system and I gave it everything I had, even though I knew nothing about the online world at the beginning. And I fired my boss in 6 weeks and 2 days. So that's a little bit about me. I could go on and on, but this is really about you. So let's talk about you guys and what you're going to learn tonight specifically. So you're going to learn how to grow your own online business, grow it as quickly as possible, because the goal is to really start making money as quickly as possible using our automated systems. And you get to see and hear from people from all over the world who are also plugging into the same exact system and earning huge commissions and firing their bosses if that's what you want to do, or traveling the world, or creating whatever that dream lifestyle is for you. That's what the online business is doing for people. Now, why are people moving to online? You know, we're seeing it everywhere, right? Stores are closing and Amazon's taken over. I mean, I'm ordering everything online, and it's kind of almost sad seeing all these stores around me close. But the digital online world is taking over so fast that it's just, I mean, it is rapid speed. So that's why now is the time for people to start learning how to earn an income online, because it's not going anywhere. You know, and the reality is, it's sad, but it's the truth, that there are close to 10,000 people a month that are losing their jobs because of automation and technology. It makes sense for the bottom lines for the companies. You know, if a company can automate your job, they're going to let you go, fire you, you're going to lose your job, and then you're going to be scrambling and replaced by automation technology, and it's not going anywhere. That's why now is the time to start. Now, I say all that, but I also am going to tell you guys that the internet is still very young. Even though it's moving so quickly and rapidly, I can tell you that the action takers of today, which means the people who learn how to make money online, will be the millionaires of tomorrow. Take my word when I say that. That is the honest truth. Both of my kids are already wanting to work online and be exactly like their mom in some ways. Anyway, that is a fact. We've proven it over and over, and you guys are going to see some of that tonight too.
Well, and you know what? The beautiful part about this, folks, is there's a bunch of people now that are setting the most amazing role models, the most amazing examples for their kids, showing them, just like Leanne, that they can be the masters of their own fate. You don't have to put the control of your life in somebody else's hands. And the cool thing about this now is we've got a community that spans the entire globe. People from all walks of life that have stepped up and grabbed control of their lives. These people came from all different walks of life, all different industries, all different levels of experience, all different ages, all different backgrounds. The one thing, honestly, that these people had in common was they were ready for change. In fact, they woke up to the fact that if something was going to be different, they had to first do different. And you know what, guys? These are the people now that we refer to as the action takers, the job quitters, the change makers, the mortgage payer offers. I've got a billion words for them, but at the end of the day, you know what they are? They're winners because they had the audacity to believe in themselves and to do something about their situation. These are some of the people you're going to hear about from tonight, folks. So, is this right for you? Is this something that can work for you? Let's address the elephant in the room because I know you're wondering already. Well, it's like this, folks. If you're sick and tired of waking up to an alarm clock just to get to a job you're sick and tired of, this is for you. If you're struggling to pay the bills each and every month, you're coming up short every month, this is for you. If you're trying to figure out a way to be your own boss, maybe even to travel, this is for you. And I'll be honest, folks, I think this is for each and every one of you because here is the best way that I've ever found for you to spend time with your family, while, by the way, also coming up with the cash required to enjoy your time with your family, to have the things you've always wanted to have, to do the things you've always wanted to do, and most importantly of all, in order to secure your future. You know, it's not just about coming up with that golden nest egg that they tell us we're all supposed to somehow magically come up with before we retire, and then yet can't explain how. It's about creating a business that takes care of you. A business that generates income for you well into your twilight years, whether you're working or not. Here's the reason that everybody wants an automated business, folks, because the machines do the work for you. Machines don't sleep, machines don't eat, machines don't need breaks, machines don't go to the bathroom. They work 24/7, so you don't have to. What does that mean? Well, hopefully it means if they're successful at what they're supposed to do, they're generating income for you 24/7. That right there, folks, is how you truly gain hold of your future.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mike. But let's get real, guys. This is not one of those deals where you're going to just push a button on your laptop or your phone and $1 million is going to start flying out of the sky next week. You know, it's not a get rich quick deal scheme. Those things, I'm going to be honest here, guys. If they exist, they don't work. I'm just being real and I'm being authentic. We all see all kinds of things popping up in our news feeds. So let's just throw it out there. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but I will tell you this. Our results aren't typical because we are not typical people. And you're going to see that every single one of us in this community that is using this system, we're all action takers. We all drew a line in the sand and we all wanted to be our own boss in control of our lives. And our system that we're using and we're teaching you guys, proven to convert all day, all night, 24/7. I can't even imagine how many times, but you guys are the only variable, just like I was the only variable and still am in my business. I had to show up to my online business, be the own boss to fire my boss in 6 weeks.
Folks, I'm hoping that you're listening to these words that Leanne is saying because this is probably the most important part of tonight's presentation. We are probably the only 2 people that you are ever going to see do an online webinar that aren't going to tell you we can't make you a millionaire by tomorrow. In fact, we're probably the only 2 coaches that are going to come on here and get real with you and tell you if you want results, it's time to step up and do something about it. This system we've created, I'll be honest, it's not that exciting. You know why? Because it's a bunch of ones and zeros and it's a bunch of coding on the back end. That combined with the mentorship and training though suddenly does get exciting. And when you put passion that can only come from one source and that one source is you involved with it, well, then you're absolutely unstoppable. So folks, if you are passionate, you are hungry and you are ready for change, then stick with me. Let's talk how we can make this happen for each and every one of you. Because like Leanne says, we got people that are achieving massive results using this system. How did they do it? They did it the exact same way as everybody else achieving the same results. It's just about passion and making it happen first. So for those of you that are ready to plug in and let's do this together, guys, here's the deal. you got to start off with 3 fundamentals. Success is always dictated by these 3 pillars in any business, online or offline. You see, folks, you need to first find a product that people want, ideally that they need. That's even better. But then if you can come up with a way to tell them about it, well, then suddenly they're going to understand the value of what you're offering. And then the real golden ticket is to figure out who needs it or wants it the most and go and talk to those people first. Now, as you can imagine, these 3 pillars are going to look a little bit unique in the online space. So what we've done here tonight is put together a few slides to kind of give you an idea of just what's involved specifically in the online world. So let's start them off with the first pillar, Leanne.
Okay, so let's talk about finding a product that people want. Now, thanks to the internet, we can literally buy anything, anywhere, any time of the day or night. And so as the online market continues to develop, companies are trying to capitalize on this reality, and they're setting up referral programs that actually incentivize online marketers like ourselves to drive traffic to their products. Now, here's a few companies that have referral affiliate programs you guys are familiar with. Walmart, eBay, Apple, Amazon, Best Buy. I could go on and on and on. And they're having a lot of success. But there's also companies that pretty much act as a middleman. And that's what we call affiliate networks. If you've never heard of any of these, that's okay. Don't panic. It doesn't matter. It's all right. You've got MaxBounty, ClickBank, NewCash. Again, those are just a few. But one thing I do want to teach you guys, the next time you go to make a purchase, I want you online. I want you to look in the URL bar at the top, and at the end, if you see a series of letters and numbers, that's typically a code. That means when you make that purchase, there's an online marketer on the other end that's getting paid a commission. And down here, we have a perfect example, MRD. Those are Mike's initials. We happen to use that as an example at the end. The goal is for those to be your initials.
That's right. You know, at the end of the day, folks, there's 2 types of users on the internet, people who are buying and people who are making money. So you can be both, but wouldn't it be fun if you were at least the person making the money? Let's talk about how we can make that work. I mean, first of all, really, you've only got these 2 options to figure out what you're going to sell first. I mean, if there's a retailer out there that you're already aware of and you like what they're doing, heck, go check out if they've got an affiliate program you can plug into. If there's nobody that comes to mind, or if they can't have a program you can work with, then you can diversify. You can go check out some of these affiliate networks that Leanne's mentioned. Here's the one thing I will point out though, folks. You're going to make more money working directly with the retailer than the network. I mean, at the end of the day, a middleman will always do the same thing. They're going to facilitate your business for you in exchange for a cut in the commissions. So basically, you're trading off some time for money, or some time for money on the other side as well. At the end of the day, though, the important part here, though, is that it's only the business owner, which is ultimately you now, who makes that decision. And that's the key to all of this. So that's the first pillar, folks. Here's the second pillar.
Okay, so let's talk about finding a way to tell people about your product. And I love talking about this because what it comes down to really is a sales funnel. And what a sales funnel really comes down to and means is attraction marketing. And I think I love it so much because I remember being so fascinated when I really began to learn about how it works because of where I come from, where Mike and I both come from the corporate world. It's the opposite of what we used to do. It's not about going to network meetings. It's not about pressuring and bugging your family and friends. It's not about cold calling. It's not about lotions and potions in your garage and your trunk. It's not about pressuring people at all. You're literally attracting people to whatever your product, service, or offer is that you have for them, as opposed to chasing people down. It's not like that. It's the complete opposite. And be quite honest, that was one of the things that actually really attracted me to this system, because I've been down that road where it's the whole pressure family, friends. I will never do that again. I'll tell you that. But the other thing I want to say about the sales funnel, when you have a sales funnel that is converting, that's a key word, converting, it can be the most powerful tool you have in your own business.
This is so true, folks. You know, the world of business has totally changed. And largely the reason it's changed is because of the internet. You know, consumers today can do all kinds of research. They generally speaking know where they can find something, what they'll pay, and why they should buy it there before they even leave their house. I mean, heck, they can do that from their phone on the bus while they're on their way there. So it's really important that us as business owners recognize that consumers are more educated and savvy than they've ever been in the past. So there's really no reason in the world why they can't find you if you're actually what they're looking for. The trick is showing them the value of what you're offering and why they should ultimately buy from you. I mean, Leanne's right. I mean, back in the day, these sales funnels still existed, but the difference is this. The difference used to be that we had to have an army of sales agents converting leads to buyers, convincing them, showing them the way, showing them the value, and educating them. Now we don't have to do that. They're already educated. Now we have to show them the value and why they should buy from us. That doesn't necessarily have to be done by a person, though. In fact, it shouldn't be, because it can be done with automation. It can be done with technology, artificial intelligence even, you might say. And the beauty of this is now you don't have to engage every single lead that comes to your business. Now, literally, your business can interact with up to millions of people, but ultimately the only ones you're going to end up dealing with are the ones who are ready to become buyers. Why talk to every single person if they're not even going to buy? Wouldn't you rather speak to the people who are ready to do business? Of course you would. That right there, folks, is exactly why this works. And I'll tell you, if you come up with a system like this that's automated, it's a little bit like printing your own money.
Yep, it absolutely is. And we put together an example for you guys. Would you trade a $5 bill for a $100 bill? Well, of course, most everybody's going to say absolutely many times over. But it's very similar to this elusive slot machine I'm taking Darren and Mike to in Vegas, where every single time you put a dollar in and pull down that handle, $100 is going to come flying out every single time. That is a perfect example of what a converting sales funnel also does for your business.
Now, you know what, folks? Leanne has been joking about this elusive slot machine for a very long time. We still haven't found it. But here's what I do know does exist: online sales funnels. And you know why? I can say that so certainly because I see so many businesses thriving online. They're all using them if they're succeeding. It's that simple. Now, for most of you, this is probably a brand new concept. So I want to kind of give you some background on sales funnels so you can understand just how important they are and what's involved in making them succeed. So we'll start off first by talking a little bit about what it takes to make them in the first place, okay? So essentially, if you want to have an online sales funnel, you need to have some technical knowledge behind it. You need to have design skills and marketing skills, because also it's not just about making it, it's about making it look appealing. Because really, ultimately, you want people to click on your website and say, oh yeah, I get this, I want this, right? So if you don't have this kind of skill and knowledge behind you, well, ultimately, you've only had two options up until now. You either had to invest the time into learning these skills or the money into paying somebody to do the work for you who does have the skills. And this is what we identified really early in the game. When we wanted to start helping people, we quickly figured out most people don't have these skills and don't have the means to get them. You're already overworked, underpaid, and you don't have time. How in the world are you going to get into a new industry on your own, right? Well, the good news is now you don't need to. Now you can work with people like us who can help you by simply plugging you into a system where all of this is already taken care of. But like I said, it's not just about the system, right? So what does it take to make them work? Well, ultimately, you need quality traffic coming to your business. We're going to talk a bit more about that here in a sec. But you also need to convert those traffic, those leads, into buyers. The thing that usually does that is your website, which is attached to your sales funnel. Your website is basically the front door to your sales funnel. And when they step through that front door, you need to make sure you keep your people engaged, keep them plugged in long enough so they can gain insight into how awesome you are and how much you're going to help them and how much value you're going to bring to them. This is critical to your success. And unfortunately, this is also where we found most solopreneurs didn't succeed. So this, again, is why we incorporated the training as well as our system. You need not only the system, you need to know how to make it work for you. And this right here is exactly how we help people most of all. And honestly, save our people thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars in the process. So that's the second pillar. The third pillar is probably the most important one. Wouldn't you say, Lee?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about finding the right people to buy, which really comes down to traffic. And we've used that term quite a few times. So what traffic in the online world really means is just basically visitors to your website. Without traffic, nothing matters. Remember that. Without traffic, nothing matters. Just like a shopping mall. Let's say you have a shopping mall and you have all the stores there, best sales going on. If nobody's going to the mall, nobody's shopping, nobody's making any money, nothing matters. So the same thing in the online world. You've got to have traffic with that beautiful, sexy, converting sales funnel. But one more thing, it can't be any traffic. It must be quality traffic. Remember that. Converting sales funnel, quality traffic.
Now, let's talk about quality traffic, folks. And I love this analogy of the mall because, if you have never had a small business, you probably know somebody, or at least know somebody who's known somebody who had a small business. Imagine you got a little mom and pop shop in that mall that Leanne's referencing. And imagine, say, tomorrow you get 1,000 customers walk through the door. Sounds pretty amazing, right? Well, it might not be. And this is one of the common mistakes that small business owners make. They assume they just need traffic. They just need customers. Let's assume, though, every one of those 1,000 people only spend $1 with you. You know what happens? At the end of the day, you are absolutely exhausted. Your staff is exhausted. Your store probably looks like a hurricane went through it, and you've got $1,000 to show for it. You know what happens with $1,000 a day in a little shop? Not a heck of a lot, because you got overhead, you got taxes, you got staff, you got insurance, all these things you have to pay for a brick and mortar business. So most times they end up going upside down and eventually out of business. Now, that's what I mean by quantity. Quality is if you were to say have 2 customers walk through the door the next day who are going to spend $1,000 with you each. So we've turned the model on its head. Now you're making $2,000 and only dealing with 2 customers. So you've doubled your profits and literally working with 1/500th of the amount of people. It's a lot easier and it's twice the amount of money. I guarantee I know which one I'm going to pick all day long, folks. I hope now it's starting to become clear for you as well, because that is why quality always trumps quantity. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of a recap for you that are for the new here, because I know we got a bunch of newbies here, folks. I don't want to lose you. What we're trying to explain here, guys, is for you to be successful in the online space, we need to help you come up with your offer, then come up with the system that's going to introduce it to people and show them the value of your offer, and ideally figure out who the best people are to introduce it to in the first place, the people who need it or want it the most. This is actually pretty straightforward. I'll be honest. If you can figure out these 3 steps, do it successfully, do it consistently, it's going to make you a lot of money, because in the online space, you can deal with so many more customers in such a short amount of time, especially with automation. And I think a lot of people who have never been in business before have this misconception that this is actually very complicated. And it's almost a little bit kind of in the dark realm, because you have to convince people or trick people. But I'll be honest, guys, I've been in sales and marketing my whole life. And one of the earliest lessons I learned, thankfully, from a really good mentor was that if you're successful in business, it really just means you're helping people. And I'll use each of you as a prime example to prove my point here. I know that each of you are here tonight because probably you're looking for more money. Probably you're looking for more time. Realistically, I know you're looking for all of the above. Everybody is crying for more money and crying for more time. Overworked and underpaid, right? How many times have you heard that in the last week? So it only makes sense that when you land across one of our websites or somebody from our community's website that was offering you a chance to come and check out this free webinar that they also saw at some point that was helping them change their lives, so that you also could learn how to stop stressing about your bills, finally start to live life on your terms, and finally walk away from that 9-to-5 grind that is making you so darn tired and only really sucking the life and the money out of your bank account. This only made sense because it was a free webinar. I mean, really, you can't go wrong, right? If a little glimmer of hope comes out of tonight's presentation to help you change your future, and the presentation was free, wasn't it worth coming? Well, of course it was, right? You literally can't go wrong. But if you take that same model, folks, it's exactly the same process for all of these people who are making all of the money that you see in the online space. All these people that are selling major products and programs and everything else, they're making it because they're covering off the same 3 pillars that we've walked you through here tonight. Right, Leanne?
Absolutely. And now you guys know the exact 3-step system to success that people are using. They're making 6 and 7 figures online per month or per year because there is no cap to your income. I mean, your potential income is limitless, literally. And you could do this all on your own with everything that we've taught you so far. However, let me tell you, there are 2 really big roadblocks that come into play here. For one, it takes a lot of time to figure out what software programs you're going to need to have to start putting together and get them to basically integrate, work well, marry each other so you can start making money. Then at the same time, it costs a lot of money to purchase those programs, get them set up, get them tested, and continue to pay for them. On the low end, I don't even want to say $20,000 because I know it's higher than that, but conservatively $20,000. And here's a little more detailed breakdown to kind of help you guys see what I'm talking about. Just to set up your own online business, if you were going to do this on your own, you need ClickFunnels 3600, Infusionsoft 7200, ClickMagic 9600, EasyWebinar 1200. You're looking at close to $22,000. So I still say that's on the low end. That is assuming you were going to do it on your own. The good news is you don't have to do it by yourself, and you trust me, you don't want to do it alone. Okay, we'll literally save you the money, the time, the stress, the headache by plugging you in to our online system. You know what it comes down to? One of my favorite words, leverage. You know, it's working smarter, not harder. If you're a fan of Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad back in 1997, and he made a killing off of it. And now he's basically added co-authors to the book. He's refurbished the book, and he's added a few different things to it. He's making a killing. It's practically the same content. He's working smarter, not harder. And that's exactly what we're doing here. There's no need to reinvent the wheel.
You know, as you're telling that, Leanne, I'm thinking of that old comic strip where they were always trying to reinvent the wheel, that caveman comic strip. And everybody always thought it was so ridiculous because the wheel is obviously round, right? And you always came to that realization at the end of the comic strip. But yet, what I'm constantly amazed by is how many people try to do just that in the business world, in the online world especially. Guys, believe me, the richest people in the world are not going out there and coming up with their own way of doing things. They're looking at what's already out there and they're making it work for them. Those are the smartest people in the world. It's all about leverage and maximizing your time and resources. So here's the deal. You get to leverage us. We've got a whole community, like I say now, of people that are using our system and seeing results. The important part about that is, of course, when you plug into that kind of community, now not only do you get the system, but you're tapping into that wealth of knowledge, that wealth of experience. Do you think that tapping into tens of thousands of people that are already working online is going to help you in your business? It would be crazy if it didn't, right? It's almost impossible that it wouldn't. So why wouldn't you want to tap into something like that? Now, the key to this, though, is that when you become part of our system, we've done so much of the heavy lifting already for you. We've done so much of the research for you already. And the beautiful part about this is, I'm going to let you in on another little secret. You're not the only one who doesn't want to be a pushy salesman. Nobody does. It's the different age. It's the technology age. It's not the age of people going door to door, knocking on doors anymore, trying to sell people stuff. It's all about just respecting consumers and the education they have and giving them what they need. So the system does the selling for you when your leads are ready to buy. It's that easy. But it actually is even better than that, because if you'll remember, I said you had to have 3 pillars to really be ultimately successful in the online space. Well, the reason our people are so successful is because we built those 3 pillars into this thing right from day one. I mean, what we did first and foremost, before we did anything on the tech side, was we went out, we did all the market research. We identified what people were selling and what was making people the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. We plugged those products in. Then we went into the tech stuff. then we built our own systems, and we built systems to not only close the sales for you, but also to convert your leads to buyers in their own time through automations. Customers feel like they're getting one-on-one kind of customer service without it actually taking up any of your time whatsoever. And the best part about this, folks, is we also show you how to bring quality traffic to your business. At the end of the day, you want to find those people who need or want what you have and you're offering the most. Those are going to be the early adopters. Those are the people who are going to get it. Those are the people who are going to give you the money in the shortest amount of time. And all of this is so exciting because of the automation. Most of you probably have no idea how satisfying it is to wake up in the morning knowing that you've already made money that day. Well, actually, you didn't. Your business did. How did it do it? Thanks to the machines and the automations working for you while you sleep. Even better than that is going on vacation, sipping a margarita, and making money at the same time. I'll tell you, that's when it gets really satisfying, folks. This is why so many people work with us, because that is all possible now for anybody thanks to this system. But it does come down to one big question that you're going to have to ask yourself first.
It does. And this is actually a really personal question that only you can answer. 3 words. Are you ready? You know, are you ready to plug into an online system that's creating massive success globally for people, helping people quit their jobs, travel, build that nest egg, build their dream lifestyle, have that personal freedom? But the question, are you ready, is only something that you can answer. It was only something that I could answer. You don't have to tell anybody, but consider that question and listen very carefully, because Mike's going to break it down for you and show you exactly how it works.
Okay, guys, so here's the deal. When you join our team, number one, you get personal coaching and mentoring. Now, this is really important because most of the people we work with have never been in business before, much less online business. So everybody gets that kind of coaching they need, and everybody actually gets a mentor assigned to them when they join the community. Every single person. Now, on top of that, though, don't forget, you get plugged into the entire community, a community that spans the entire globe, a globe of business owners that are using the same system you are, that are rocking the online world. And we make sure we get everybody down to business each and every week. We keep people plugged in and on top of their games with weekly masterminds. We do 2, actually, one on Tuesday for the newbies and one on Wednesdays for the more advanced people. And everything we do starts you off on Facebook. You know why? Well, I'll tell you here in a sec, but I'll let you in on a little secret here. The golden nugget of the day, Facebook is still by far the biggest game in town. So what we've done is we've set up step-by-step modules for you to sail through, get set up, and start making money. And all of this works as well as it does, because keep in mind, like I said, it's mentoring, coaching, systems, and products. A lot of programs out there charge you thousands of dollars for education. And then what do? They turn you loose on the world and they say, good luck to you. So then you got to go out, do product research, build your systems, try to figure everything out on your own. It's not like that here. Nope. As soon as you're done your training, we get you set up on a system and we plug in with the products that are going to make you money in the shortest amount of time possible. That right there, folks, is why we have the results we do. That right there is why we're the biggest game in town and we grow at the rate we do. I mean, heck, in the first 30 days we took this thing online, this system generated $1 million. It has been 3 years now, folks, 3 years, and there's nothing stopping this freight train. This is truly the success freight train. And man, oh man, you do not want to miss this train ride. I can promise you that, guys. So let me drill down a little bit deeper here. When I say personal coaching, every single person who joins, we actually get on the phone with you on day one, and we actually start talking to you about what your game plan is. What are your hopes? What are your dreams? What are your goals? What are you trying to get out of this? If we don't know that, how in the world are we going to help you achieve it, right? It only makes sense. So that's why we have that one-on-one phone call with each and every person right away, as soon as we can. Now, on top of that, though, you get access to this whole community. And it's like this. Obviously, you're in business for yourself, your family. Essentially, you're a solopreneur, but you're floating around in an ecosystem of other solopreneurs. So that if you ever get stuck, unlike when you're by yourself and on your own, and you have to figure it out on your own, now a whole community has your back and can help you get unstuck. This is why you sail through and see results that much faster, because you don't get stuck with every single little hurdle that hits you in your business. Now, in terms of the training we do and all the masterminds, everything, and I mean everything, gets recorded, folks. Everything we do gets recorded and stored in one central member website. So everything is always at your fingertips. I don't care where you live, what time zone you're in, everybody has equal access to everything. And even the weekly masterminds we do that are live, that people bring their questions to, if you have to miss one, it's okay. We store those replays on the member site as well, so you can always go back for a refresh whenever you need it. The whole idea here is that this works around your schedule. Now, I promised you I'd talk a little bit about Facebook. Here it is, folks. Not only is Facebook the biggest game in town, but it's also a great way to engage leads, a great way to build personal rapport with people, to show them that you're a real person, and so to show them also that you've got a real business. All of our training is step-by-step. I mean, we've got billions of people logging into Facebook on a daily basis. You must be selling to those people if you want to be successful in the online space. And the other big reason why we start everybody off on Facebook is ultimately pretty obvious. They're already on it. And if all you've ever done at this point, guys, is keep in touch with friends and family and maybe watch the odd cat video here and there, that's okay. Because remember, they build these things to be user-friendly. And just having that much more experience with the platform means it'll give you that much more confidence so you can sail through the setup and just simply get up and running and seeing results. It's that simple, guys. Now, all of this works as well as it does, really, honestly, because of the mentorship components. You know, we look after our people. Everybody gets assigned a mentor coming into this thing. Everybody gets surrounded by a community of mentors as soon as they join this thing. And that is why they see the speed of implementation that they do. That's why they see the results in the short amount of time that they do. And this is why it's so darn exciting. You know, there's that old proverb, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, let's go together. And that is truly why this works as well as it does. Leanne, is there anything you want to say about the mentorship side?
Yes, actually, you know, mentorship is so very close to my heart because I think I know it's definitely one of those things that sets us apart from everything else that's out there. And Mike said it before, we watch over our people. We are really, really, really on top of making sure that every single person is connected to someone, their mentor, their coach. We're really big on connection, support, and helping each other out because I said before, you don't want to do this alone. I've known too many people that have tried it, failed, and lost a lot of money. So we're all here to help you and support you regardless of who your mentor is. We're all here. But moving on, you guys are getting the exact same system that I'm using, that everybody on this webinar is using, and the whole community is using to create evergreen lifestyle that is quit their job, fire their boss, same thing, but fire their boss just sounds better, but create the life that they never thought was possible. And you guys are getting the exact same system. And like I said, you could do this on your own, but why in the world would you want to? Because I ran through all those numbers, and I'm telling you, on the low end, $20,000 to $22,000 is so very conservative just to set it up. It's hard to even say that number because that does not even include the training that we just talked about. That does not include I should say the thousands of dollars we invested into the training. That does not include the mentorship. If you were to go hire a mentor, outsource a mentor, you're going to pay about $350 to $450 an hour to get them to help you. That's amazing. That's mind-blowing to me. And that does not count the masterminds, the business groups, and the ongoing support from all of us. So we promise to save you guys time, money, and stress. So we're offering this to you for a one-time membership fee of $99 only.
Folks, this is honestly the chance of a lifetime. And I mean that in a lot of ways. $99. This is a one-time backstage pass to literally changing your future. This $99 covers all of your training and system costs for the rest of your life on this system, guys. That's how powerful this is. And I'm going to let you know a little secret. You are on a live webinar right now. Folks, it is October 1st, 2019. You know what happens on October 2nd, 2019? This price goes up to $149. So for those of you that came on here live and are watching this right now, this is your chance, folks. You literally have a matter of hours to take advantage of this opportunity and change everything for you and your family. $49. $149 is still such a bargain, but $99 is even more delicious. So you might as well take advantage of it while you can and take us up on this amazing offer. This 99 bucks literally covers all of that we've gone through here tonight, guys. I mean, click on that button and here's what rolls out. We send you videos to walk you through everything in depth so you can really get a sense of how this works for you. Tonight, we wanted, because we got a bunch of newbies on here, more than anything, we wanted to kind of introduce you to not only ourselves, but the system and the online space, because a bunch of you are from all different levels of experience with the online space. I get it. So for those of you who are ready to go into the meat and potatoes of this thing and check it out, click on that button, invest your $99, and these videos will walk you through everything in depth at no additional cost, by the way. So we'll introduce you to the systems, to the products, to the commission structure payouts. Heck, we even have rolled in the strategies that our top income earners are using now to get the biggest results in their business. All of that comes to you after you pay that $99. And the beauty of giving you these videos in this fashion is now you can watch them in your own time. Watch them as many times as you want. Watch them with your spouse if you want. Watch them with your kids if you want. And while you're doing that, we'll go ahead behind the scenes, we'll add you to our community. This community we've put together that I keep talking about is actually a secret Facebook group where only people who have invested in their future get to join. You're going to become part of that. So we add you to our community so you can get a sense of who we are and what we're all about right away. Folks, you're going to like this community. I can promise you that. It is by far the most impressive part of a community that I've ever been a part of. It has truly been my honor. Now, after you've done all of this, checked us out, done your due diligence, watched the videos, then the most important part comes, you schedule that one-on-one coaching call that I mentioned earlier, that entry-level call so we can get on the phone together and find out exactly what it is you're hoping to achieve by starting this online business. We need to find out what your goals are so we can create a roadmap together to get you there. This is the key to your success. And you might notice the certainty that we've been talking about with tonight, folks, and it only can come from the experience and the results that we've had doing this. Leanne and I have been doing this presentation now for a few years, you could say. And in that time, there's been a lot of copycats that have come along the lines and tried to duplicate what we're doing and ultimately failed, or worse, made other people fail. And folks, I'll be honest, the internet is a little bit like the wild, wild west still. You can hang up a board and claim that you're God's gift to mankind, and unfortunately, it's very difficult to prove it. Folks, we got the numbers. We've got the numbers to talk about. Thousands of people now making 6 figures a month, making 5 figures a month, 4 figures a month. Heck, I'll be honest, 3 figures and 2 figures a month. You know what the difference is? It's their business. They get to decide. It's not up to me how much money you're going to make. What is up to me is to make the best system that's going to work the best for the most people. And that's what we've done. I honestly do believe that. I know that because it's also the most transparent system. It's the most clear system. It's the only system where people actually get the kind of mentorship they need to succeed and access to everything right out of the gate. It's got that kind of mentor-mentee two-way communication that is critical to people getting up to speed in the shortest amount of time. It's all about relationships, it's about people, and it's about respecting each other and listening to each other. It's that simple, folks. It's kind of old school thinking combined with new age technology. We like each other, we work together, we respect each other, we listen to each other, and we succeed together. It's that simple. Imagine thousands of people all over the world doing that. How amazing is that? There's a lot of countries that would be jealous of that kind of talk, right? Folks, this is it. And I mean this. If you are really ready to do something about your future and you really have always wanted to work online, this is what you've been looking for. Click the button and check it out. It is the best $99 you will ever spend in your life. You don't have to be a tech expert. You don't have to be a business guru. I don't care what kind of background you come from. I know this can work for you because ultimately it's worked for so many people before you. regardless of the industries, the experience, any of that stuff. All of these people can say the same, folks. And that's why this is so exciting. So if $99 could change your life tonight, wouldn't it be worth it? Click the button, folks, and let's make it happen together. Leanne, can you do me a favor and just walk them through one more time, please, everything they get for their money?
Absolutely. So your one-time $99 investment gets you access to our Sleeping Giant products that we talked about in the beginning that pay the huge commissions, advanced Facebook training, access to our weekly masterminds, our ongoing mentorship, because we really don't go away, our automated business system, and then on top of that, you also get your very own branded sales funnel that has already been tested and is proven to convert. And remember, that's a secret sauce to people who are making 6 to 7 figures per month or year. But a branded sales funnel that you guys get means we literally build your personalized funnel for you. It's like handing over a personal franchise to you that's online. It's got your name written on it, your picture, everything about it is yours. It's your baby. You're the boss. It's branded to you. But it gets even better than that. And I love this. We offer this to you guys with zero risk. We give you a full 30 days to pay the $99, come in, go through those videos as many times as you want to with whomever you want to. Like Mike said, watch it with your spouse, whomever. We encourage that because we want you to dive deep into the material and really understand the commission structure and everything that we put together for you guys. If for some reason during that 30 days you decide that it's not for you, you just ask for your $99 back and we'll give it to you. No big deal. Or your $149. Depends on when you make that decision. The only caveat to that is once you've had your coaching call, at that point, it does become non-refundable because the coach is really taking their time to take a look at you, your life, your situation, how you got to where you are, what your goals are, and we create a strategic personal plan for you that's going to help you get there ASAP because we want you up and running as soon as possible. And I'll be honest with you guys, we do this for a reason. We don't work with everybody that wants to work with us. And that's just the brutal reality. We're very real here. We're very authentic here. Like Mike said, we believe in integrity and we just don't work with everybody. And there's a reason behind that. And I think you're going to get to see a little bit of why that is once you're a part of the community. But before I turn it back over and you hear from all these wonderful, beautiful people, I just want you to know, I don't believe in accidents. I don't necessarily believe in coincidences, or kind of. I think that for me personally, when my time was up in the corporate world, internally in my mind and my heart and my soul, and then the online world appeared, and it appeared, there's a story to it, I won't go into it, but very quickly, rapidly, and unexpectedly through my 16-year-old son is how I ended up watching a workshop. And I had a gut feeling that I was meant to be there, not my son. I just watched that workshop to make sure it wasn't a scam for him. He wanted to work online, but I felt like it was for me. So listen to your intuition. Listen to your gut. If you know that you want to change your life and you really, truly, like, no kidding, want to change your life, then you know that deep down inside. So be real with yourself. That's the best thing I could tell you. It is so easy to be skeptical because there is so much out there, and I get it. That's okay to have healthy skepticism. But I also encourage you that if you have that knowing, that feeling that this just might be exactly what you've been looking for, I encourage you, take that next leap of faith. because there is no risk and you've got nothing to lose. If I had not taken that leap of faith, I'd probably be unemployed and no telling where I would be in my life right now. So listen to your gut. And I'm going to turn it back over so you can listen to all these other wonderful people. And welcome to all of you guys that have already plugged in. I am so excited. I'm sitting here watching. My phone is over here blowing up. So welcome to the family. I'll turn it back over to you, Mike.
Awesome. Thank you, Leanne. It is a really important point, folks. I know there's a bunch of scary stuff out there in the internet space. I don't know any other way we could show you that we're different by offering you a secure website, giving you a discount tonight, and giving you 30 days to still get your money back. It's as secure as you could possibly do it. Pay with your credit card, pay with PayPal, whatever you feel more comfortable with. The choice is yours.
You could use a prepaid card.
You could use a prepaid card, absolutely. But the point is, just check this out, because this is the stuff that literally are making dreams come true. So let's hear about that a little bit now. We got a whole bunch of people on here tonight. We love to get people on here that are using the system, who they can talk about what their experience and their results have been so far. And we always make sure we get people from all different levels and levels of experience with us. And so I'm going to start at one end of the line, and we're just going to work our way right down here. You're going to hear from some people that have been with us longer than others, some that are making more money than others, and some people that are just starting out, and some people that have been with us for years. So
you're not muted, are you? Someone said they couldn't hear you.
No, I shouldn't be. But Nizreen, I'm going to turn it over to you, and we'll pass on down the line, okay?
Awesome. I see that you just turned my volume on. Is that right, Mike? Because we're using the new system. Awesome. Okay, good. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is so exciting. And can I just say the record that we broke today, Mike? This is an extra special night, not just because we're on a new system, but when I started my business in 2017, our business community was around 500 people. I saw it grow from and then of course from the end of 2017, it creeped up to several thousand. We were at something like, I don't know, it was almost like 17 or 18,000 at the end of 2018. And we just hit 30,000 members earlier today. And now we're creeping up on 30,000 and 100 or something like that. It's absolutely amazing and global, and it feels like the best explosion in the world. My name is Nisreen. Sorry, I'm just so excited about today and seeing the record that we broke that I forgot to introduce myself. I live in Vancouver, British Columbia, on the west coast of Canada, and I'm in my 40s. And the reason why I started my business was first and foremost, the stress in my life was huge, and my passion had really kind of took a dive in a sense. I was dragging my feet into work, just because I was in an industry for so long that I really wore myself out. The industry wore me out. I was a server. Or a waitress, if you want. It doesn't matter. At this point, I'm not a server anymore, so I don't care what you call it. But I'd wait on people, and I did love it for many, many years. But 23 years I spent in that industry, and lugging around furniture, setting up events, and for weddings, and late nights, and early mornings, and split shifts, all for the not knowing what I was going to make, because I worked on tips. And when I worked my way up to making a couple $100 every shift, it kind of put me in a trap where I wasn't skilled or educated to do anything else. So the years has kind of trickled on. And towards the last several years of that, I was just dying inside. I hated it. I really did. I love the people. And I worked with some amazing, amazing people, some that are still to this day, some of my closest friends. But I just didn't want that lifestyle anymore. And when I started this business, I was juggling 3 jobs: catering job, a night job in a fine dining restaurant, and a day job in my friend's breakfast restaurant. And why was I juggling it? Well, Vancouver, I don't know if you know anything about the economy of Vancouver, but it's expensive, really expensive here. I don't have expensive taste necessarily. I drive a Honda, my husband and I do like to live in the city because we're also both actors. That's the other reason why I wanted to have time freedom. I wanted to get out of the industry that I'd been a part of for all of my adult life. and I was just too tired. And I wanted obviously more financial freedom, but I wanted time freedom. For me, that was the biggest piece of gold that I could get my hands on, because I had had enough. Like, I was just working way too much. As a professional actor in Vancouver, there's a lot of opportunities here. Like, I mean, next to Los Angeles, Vancouver is the second city in North America in terms of TV and film. So I'd been working in many years and putting a lot of time and effort and money into building my career, only to be juggling it between shifts and whatnot. And it's really hectic. So for me to have time freedom meant everything. This is a career that I love very, very much. I don't work on set every single day. I don't even necessarily work on set every single month. But it's a very feast and famine type of industry. And between working as an actor, I need to have income that's flowing. That's why I had 3 jobs. So in 9 months, with this business, I was able to fire 3 bosses. That was 2 years ago. And so I've been my own boss for 2 years and never looked back. And to say that I will never have to put on an apron again and work split shifts again, I can't tell you what that means to me. Financially, because everyone wants to know about that, right? Absolutely. I am making, I would say, about 5 times what I used to make as a server monthly. My bank account has skyrocketed. I have no debt. I didn't really have much debt anyway before, but I have just freedom. You know, my husband and I travel a lot more than we used to. Just in the last 9 months, I've been back home to where he's from, Scotland. We've been to Spain. We've been to Hawaii. I've been to Mexico. We've done a few little trips, and the year's not over. And I plan on packing my bags at some point again before it is. So, and I make 5 figures. I make about $20,000 or so a month. I was able to make about $5,000, $5,000 to $7,000 a month in the first 9 months, and that's how I was able to quit my job. I've had $8,000 day. Probably my biggest day was probably an $8,000 day. I've had many $6,000 and $7,000 days, and this business has saved my life. Like, there's absolutely no other way to say it. My parents never really had a lot of money, and they're 75 and 78. And you know, when my mom, she's going through a lot of dental issues right now, and dental bills are huge. I'm paying for that for her because I want to, and because without it, she would be in a lot of pain, and she can't afford it. She's enjoying a nice trip right now back home where we're from in Lebanon to see her last surviving sister right after they lost another sister. And again, because her heart wanted to be there, she couldn't afford it. I said, Mom, I bought you a ticket. Just go, enjoy yourself, go for a month. And she's absolutely loving that. So, I mean, it's the money is not, it's not about the cash, right? It's about what the cash can give us. And it's funny, like my mind was blown. Actually, funny that you mentioned it, Leanne. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was a book I read years ago that blew open my mind to the fact that I don't want to be an employee the rest of my life, because me being an employee is helping a boss of mine make his or her dreams come true, right? But what we have here with this system, guys, is, I don't know if you know about the cash flow quadrants, but when you're an employee, you have a job, right? When you are, when you have your own business, in the sense of like when you're self-employed, you have, you kind of own a job. But when you have a business and you're a business owner like we are, you own a system that works for you, right? That's why this is so awesome. And so I know someone was asking earlier, well, I've never had experience in this before, whether it's social media or business experience or anything else. As long as you're coachable and you want to learn it and you're hungry, just bring that. Bring that, and we will give you everything else. And we're going to teach you all of that. Aside from a couple of people that I think have a background in marketing, but not social media, just marketing in general, not a single person came to this with any idea of previous experience of how to actually have a business online before. We all had to learn it. So if we can do it, hey, if an ex-waitress can do it, so can you. I mean, this is absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to hear the rest of the stories down there, because I've really only, these are so many new faces because we have so many people in our community. Mike and Darren, I know they've become dear friends. I've seen them both many, many times in both of their beautiful homes. Leanne, I had the pleasure of meeting in Mexico this year, but much like you, I get to meet people from all over the world all the time. So if you haven't yet, click the button, and yeah, it's a wicked deal today. But welcome to everyone else who's already joined. Cannot wait to welcome you on the other side. Thanks, Mike.
Beautiful. Thank you, Nazreen. All right, let's get Rick and Sue on here next. Over to you, folks.
Hi, Mike.
Goosebumps.
Hi there.
Hello.
I'm Rick, and this is Sue. She's a lucky gal that got to marry me, I guess. But go ahead.
Okay, our story. So how did we get into this business? Well, we prior to this, number of years ago, we owned a vacuum truck company. It's put food and water on our table for many years, 23 years, I think it was.
That's good.
And along at that time, we also did what we call chuck wagon racing. Some of you may know what that is, some may not, but it involved horses, lots of them. And Rick was very good at it. However, it came time and we decided that we would it was time to retire from both those businesses. First the vacuum trucks a couple years before, and then the horses. And we had no plan. We didn't even, we look back and we think why didn't we have a plan? But at any rate, moving right along, we got finished and retired. We sold the horses, and then we kind of looked at each other and said, now what? And we didn't know. And Rick was getting a little antsy. He's like, we still had lots of bills coming in. We all have bills and payments to make. And I had seen I had of course been on Facebook because was part of our business with the horses. We had a Facebook page for that. And I had seen some notices on people that were portraying this business, just like you had seen. And so I hadn't mentioned it to him. He didn't know what it was because he's never on Facebook. And at any rate, he said, yeah, for sure. Also, he could see that it said that you can make money. And so he got pretty excited. I said, whoa, let's just check it out. So I continued to watch and look at different people, and I wanted to wait till I found somebody that resonated with me, and then I had showed him.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting for me, or for us. We literally went from the horse and buggy to the online world. And if a cowboy that didn't even know how to turn a computer on can do that, anyone can do it. You know, step up to the plate, guys, because this is for real. And the part that I absolutely love about this, number one, it's built on integrity, honesty, and transparency. Mm-hmm. And when they say that if you don't like it, you get your money back, you got 30 days, that is how it works, because it is built on honesty. And this has allowed us to travel. We were over in Greece for 3 weeks. We just got back, mm-hmm. just in time for a little bit of snow. We stayed plugged in the whole time. It's an amazing opportunity, and it's an amazing system. We make 5 figures a month. It's great. And we're at home working together. We're not on the road, not driving trucks. It's good.
Mm-hmm. So once we began the system, we didn't know. I mean, we did Facebook posting, but that was about it. So we had something to learn. But we were pretty excited because the people that we had tapped into, they have now become very good friends of ours, Karen and Chris, and we met them. Plus, we've met many, many other people, and through that, we've come collectively as groups, and we're mentors. There's like it said in just what you've watched, there's mentorship, and we all work together, and we've all learned through this step-by-step system. Rick, he's learned the computer, he really has, and he's doing part of the business as well as I am, and together we're making it work. Well, you're doing a lot more than that, but we're making it work, and we've been fortunate over our lives because the jobs that we've had, we've been able to work together, and that's how we've liked it. And now this particular business has allowed us to continue to work side by side, and we couldn't be happier. And now we've got people that are just coming in, and we're learning more and more every day, and they're learning, and we just can't be happier with how it's turning out. And with also, I guess, with the money aspect of it, money's great. Everybody wants money because that's what keeps us alive and going. But it also allows us to give back. And we don't blow our own horn anywhere. We never have, but we've always been able to give to other people. And this continues to allow us to do that as well. And so we're happy with that. What other things did you have?
Well, you've covered about all of it, Susie. So back to you, Mike and Darren. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, folks. All right. Let's get Irish on here next. Irish.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Irish Marceliana. I'm 19 years old. I am on my second year of business. I'm a full-time student, and my family and I are originally from the Philippines, but now we live in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I found this business this April this year, and probably like most of you, I was very skeptical, but it was one of those things that I just knew it was meant for me. And I haven't really figured out what I want to be and who I want to be, but one thing was for sure. I wanted to come home and see my parents there. But that has always been so difficult with my mom having 4 jobs and my dad having to work 3 jobs. Sorry, I'm just so emotional. And because all those jobs are to support our family here and to support our family back home. And somehow with all those jobs, we were still struggling to make ends meet. And especially now that my brother and I are both in college. And after signing up on my mentor's website, I watched the free workshop, which you're already doing right now. And out of probably it was impulsive back then, but I just took out my credit card and paid for the $99. I didn't waste any time because I was so curious of how all these people were changing their lives in other people's lives. So I just did it. I did my due diligence. I did a lot of research. I asked a lot of questions from my coach and mentors. And I pondered for a while, but then again, I already knew that I was going to do it anyway. And there were a lot of obstacles I had to overcome being 19 and stuff, but the biggest one was when I told my dad about it, and he just said, no, you're not going to do it because it's probably, a scam. But I said, no, if you would just watch the videos that I've seen, I can prove it to you that you're wrong. But for an entire week, probably longer than that, all he did was just come inside my room. He had this he printed out this graph of how a scam works. And I was like, no. And I just kept crying and crying. I was like, no, I'm going to do it. And, while I was crying, I was already booking my coaching call because I just had to do it. And after that, even though I disobeyed what my dad asked me to, it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to finish my training. And I just want to put it out there that this business didn't really stop me from living my life as a normal teenager. And because I've always reminded myself why I'm doing this. And I think that's really important. They've emphasized that you have to know why, because that's going to change how you're going to go about doing everything, right? And I really did step out of my comfort zone because once I started running ads, all these leads started to come in and sales started happening. And then later on, all these 4-figure income checks started to come on the mail. And I think that's when I truly embrace the endless possibilities of this business. Because where else can a 19-year-old like me earn a 4-figure income in just one day? My biggest day so far, I'm on my 4th month of business now. My biggest day so far was around $2,480. And it still feels so surreal to say that because that's basically what my parents used to earn with all their part-time jobs combined. That's more than that. and I get to do that. I get that money in just one day. And you know, the money's for me is just like a bonus because I come out of this, I have new skills, I've acquired new skills, and that's probably one of the most important thing that I'm gonna, share to other people. And I am proud to say that my mom quit 2 out of 4 of her part-time jobs, and my dad got to quit 1 out of 3. And I'm also helping them pay some of our debt now, and we have the time to just sit down, have breakfast, lunch, supper together, which we didn't really have much time before. And that really means a lot. So, and I just want to remind everyone that, I'm only 19 and I wasn't really, financially capable of starting this, nor was I mentally or emotionally ready. But I made it happen, and so can you. And that's what I want to put out there, that if you're going to wait until you're ready, like if I said before when I watched that free workshop, I'm going to wait until I'm 25. I could have wasted a lot of years when I could have been, doing this, and I am now. So, pay that $99 because it's only up here till midnight, and take a look. And if you think that is not meant for you, no big deal. Like we always say, we'll refund that money, the full amount, back to your credit cards. And for all of you out there who are skeptical and just afraid to jump in, I just want to say that I was terrified out of my mind, but I did it anyway. And here I am now. Thank you.
Awesome. Now that right there is a true entrepreneur, folks. Beautiful story, Irish.
And you're one of our youngest people.
Yes, I love it. Matt, Kathy, let's get you folks on here next.
Fantastic. Okay. Can you hear us?
Yep.
Awesome.
There we go. I'm Kathy.
And I'm Matt.
And we live in Oakville, Ontario. We have 2 sons, one who's in university and the other one's in grade 12. And 13 years ago, Matt had a corporate job and I was a stay-at-home mom. And then one day that all changed. Matt lost his job, so I had to go back to work. And Matt started running online businesses. And he's run a number of them. And I've always been his support person. And he's been the kingpin. So I'll turn it over to him and he can tell you how he came to this opportunity.
Awesome. Well, as Kathy said, so the last 13 years for myself, I was doing businesses both online and offline. For me, my offline business, I was doing coaching and was finding a lot of time was spent networking, building my business through networks. And it worked really well for me. But I also found in my offline business that I was spending time chasing family, friends, following up and things like that. So that was sort of how that world was working for me. And then I also got involved in online businesses, and in an online business environment, I was selling on eBay and I was selling on Amazon. And last summer, I did a project with the kids, and we actually were doing some Shopify things, doing drop shipping. And when you listen to Irish on this webinar and you hear some of the dollars that she's transacting, you have to ask yourself, when you're doing Shopify and doing drop shipping, how many dollar bracelets do you need to sell to make $10,000? And it's a heck of a lot of them. And that wasn't necessarily where I wanted to be spending our time as far as building a business. So, from that perspective, having an online business was great, but it had some gaps for me. I was doing all this stuff on my own, learning on my own, and all those things. So Kathy and I sat down, we identified what it was that I enjoyed being online, what I didn't enjoy. And it was, Kathy was saying tonight, it's been 6 months to the day. On April Fool's Day, I paid my $99, and it was not a fool. It was amazing. You guys were actually off, Mike and Leanne and Darren, you were with the group down in Cancun, and I saw the trips you guys were on. I thought, oh, this is something I want to be part of. And so I was able to take a checklist and say, we drew a line in the sand, and we were saying, so having an online business is fantastic, but what is it that I enjoyed and didn't enjoy? And some of the things that I enjoyed was obviously having a home-based business. I wasn't doing the drive here in Toronto to the office. I didn't want to have, so being home-based was one part. Didn't want to have inventory, so drop shipping was big for us, but I really don't like inventory per se because I don't want to tie up my capital. Didn't really enjoy drop shipping because the margins weren't really great from that perspective when I was doing things on Shopify with the boys. I don't like to have staff or HR. Back in my corporate days, I had all the staffing headaches and woes that I wanted to deal with for a lifetime. So those days were over. And then I also was thinking, how can I do something that's recession proof? And there's so much in the press right now relative to what's going on with the economy. I don't really listen to the TV and the radio from that perspective. I want to build my own economy. And so when I started looking at this opportunity, it was not a very big time frame that had to take place to say, here's my $99, here's my credit card. I remember messaging Darren saying, I'm in, all in, let's go, let's do this. And so really fast forward through the last 6 months, what was really amazing for us, within, I guess it was around the middle to the end of April really is when I started this business wholeheartedly. And within 3 days, I was up and running. I mean, the training, as you guys alluded to, is phenomenal. Step by step training. So for myself, I was able to dig into that. And in 72 hours, I had my business up and running. And what was really cool is really receiving that first check about 2 weeks later, and it was $440. And to know that I could do that in a very compressed period of time was amazing for me. So, Kathy and I love to travel. Our background was in the travel industry. So we thought, okay, if we can do this on the road traveling, that's pretty cool. So actually, we decided to go on vacation to Cuba, and we were able to run this business in Cuba. 1 month into the business, and we're running this business in Cuba, and we made $1,840 while we were away. And this is just, the business was brand new. So for us to have that experience, we looked at each other and said, yeah, this could work. And so, fast forwarding through that time frame, last month, so September, we made $5,120. And so for us to be able to do that in that short a period of time, I still see that as being a short period of time. Certainly the numbers I have are nowhere in comparison to Irish. Irish cleaned our clock on her daily highlights, but that's okay. She can have that. But we're looking at our pipeline for this month and the month of October. We're going to be looking at a 5-figure month. And to be able to do that in such a compressed period of time is phenomenal. We have some consumer debt that we've got to pay off. So that's great that we can start paying those things off. But really, there's really no limit. There's no ceiling that we have to work towards. We have the entire world ahead of us. So we're kind of excited about what this really entails for us. So Mike, Darren, Leanne, thank you so much for the opportunity. And that's us. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thank you, folks. Job well done. Let's see. Joanne, let's get you on here next.
Can you hear me fine, Mike?
Yep, you're good.
Awesome. So for me, I'm 52 years old. I'm originally from New Brunswick, from the Maritimes, but I live actually in Calgary, Alberta. And it's been an amazing journey for me. I know Nisreen very well, and I know Leanne, and then I know Darren and Mike. I've been at their in Vancouver several times. We all went to Mexico for a convention in March this year. And, I've got a vast amount of friends all across Canada. I even got some friends in Australia, United States. So when we talk about this business being global, it really is. And I'm passionate and I'm excited. I get up every day now, and I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful that I don't have to battle traffic in Calgary to go to work anymore. I don't wake up to a 5 a.m. alarm clock anymore. And the beauty about this business is I get to have a life. So my journey in this business, I was like Nisreen. We both started in 2017. I was actually number 52. I watched our business grow from, I think I was number 52, and we're like over 8,000 business owners, 30,000 people. And yesterday was probably one of our biggest days we've ever had. And so to me, this business works. I'm proof that it works. I started a new career at 49 years old after running a career in the dental industry for over 24 years. So my story is, you know, in the 24 years that I, you know, was an office manager, dental assistant, I never had the flexibility to be able to take any more than 2 weeks vacation off a year. I never had any benefits, which means no sick leave, no pension, nothing. So my story is I ended up getting a health crisis. I was about 45 years old. I ended up having a virus that attacked my heart and damaged it. And for me, that was probably one of the biggest wake-up calls I think I ever had in my life, because I really thought I had a fantastic career. But what I learned from that is I really didn't, because I built a lot of doctors' practices and I worked about 60 to 70 hours a week. And what I didn't see was the amount of money and the time that I put in. Not only that, the day that I got sick, they didn't even pay me for one sick day. So that was the day, you know, and many months followed after that, that I decided, you know, I built people's offices. Why not learn how to run a business myself? Why not become a business owner? Why not learn how to run my own? And that's basically what I did at 49 years old. I teach my kids every day that it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter, you know, if you don't have that degree. It doesn't matter if you don't have, if you're not tech savvy, because all you need in life in order for anybody to be successful is a why. Mine was my son. He is now in university. My business pays for his university, which is about $21,000 a year. So there's a lot of families out there that I know do not have the money to put their children into university. And he's in there for 5 years. So my business has taken a lot of stress from my husband, because it's me and my business that's paying for his university. And he was my biggest why. And not only that, me and my husband love to travel. We've never been to Europe yet, and we're empty nesters. So this is the year that I get to travel. I get to actually enjoy and do things. So with this business, the benefits are not only that you get to work from anywhere you want. All you need, you know, is an internet connection. Our training literally provides everything that anybody needs in order to run your business. It doesn't matter where you're at. So for me, I actually have a life now. I actually have replaced my wages. So it's interesting, because a year ago I had a goal. A year ago I had a goal that I was going to make $100,000 this year. And here I am sitting at the 1st of October, and I'm pretty much almost close to that right now. So, you know, I never made that in the dental industry. For me, I was happy if I only made an extra $2,000 a month. I've well succeeded over 5 figures. I've been making over 10 grand a month ever since May. When I first started, I was happy and so excited when I got my first check. And I think it was around $300, but that was $300 extra that I didn't have, right? So even if this business, I tell people, you can work for somebody for the next 20, 30 years, or you can put your time and effort into a business that is limitless. Let's just say it takes you 5 years to make $10,000 a month. Isn't that worth the 5 years or the 2 years that you could work for somebody for 10 to 20, 30 years? Because there is no job security in this world anymore. There's no loyalty, there's no bonuses. I was raised that I had to go to university or college or have some kind of education in order to even get anywhere in life. But I've proved that wrong, because the job that I had for 25 years in the dental industry didn't really give me what I wanted in life. And, you know, so I always tell people, if you're not happy, or if you're looking for an extra stream of income, whether you love your job or whether you want a little bit of extra for traveling to university, or even your golden years, this business will allow you to do that. We've got the proven business model, and you've got all these people on the panel tonight And, you know, when you look at everybody's stories, we're all different. We all come from all walks of life. We're come from all different ages. And we all wanted something more. We all wanted some security, whether, you know, it's the income you're coming in, or whether you just wanted, you know, just to enjoy life and just to wake up every day. Because I know there's a lot of people out there, and I hear it every day. They're like, Joanne, I hate being dictated. I don't like being confined to four walls. I work 40 hours a week and I do not get the income or the benefits, and there are no pensions anymore. So why not secure your own business and secure it for you and your family? All you need is the dedication, the motivation. You don't need a degree. You don't need any education, because our system will provide anybody like me and you how to run this business. So all I can say, guys, is if you're really interested, you know, purchase the $99, take a look at what we have to offer and see if it's for you. It may not be for you, but you're not going to know until you get all the information. Book your coaching call, find out all the questions, find out what you need, you know, in order to determine if this business is for you. But all I can tell you is, you know, I'm 52 years old. If you want to keep working for somebody until you're what's the retirement age is now about 65 to 70, or you can retire maybe at 50 or 60, depending on your age. What type of life do you want? And I guess that's the question that you all need to ask yourselves tonight. I know I'm never looking back. My business, I love it, I'm passionate, and it's something that no one can take away from me. And it's something that I'm building a legacy for my children. And what parent out there does not want to build a legacy for their kids? So Darren and Mike, I guess that's it. That's all I have to say. So anyway, thank you guys. You know, every one of you guys, amazing stories. And hopefully I'll see anybody on the other side.
Awesome. Thank you, Joanne. Ika, let's get you on here next.
Can you hear me, Mike?
Yep, you're good.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Ika, and I'm currently living in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. However, I was born and raised in the Philippines. Just like most Filipinos, I moved here. I came here 10 years ago as a foreign worker, you know, in search for a better future. I used to work and juggle multiple jobs. I'd work from 2 in the morning and come home at 7 in the evening every single day. And sometimes I will have no days off even, just to be able to supplement all of the needs that I have, like to pay my bills, to save for the future, to support my mom, and to help my siblings from back home. I feel beyond grateful for all the jobs that I had. However, it was very, very, very exhausting. Like, years had gone by really, really fast, and I came here when I was 22, and the next thing I know, I was already 30. So when I turned 30, I started contemplating on the decade that had passed and realized that what fell in love. So, and then it's going to and for as well, since in step one, it didn't resonate. And then started seeing, watching her on her notification to be on a business. As I don't want to be an employee for just doing it myself. After finishing, I'm just and I was skeptical too. So I was cooking, and I remember I was like trying to stare close to my laptop's monitor, trying to figure out if the people are moving or are they just pictures, because this is very new for me. And then Mike's voice was like, he sounds like a radio announcer. Is this true? Is this real? So I had those thoughts, and it's so funny whenever I look back on that moment, and now I'm part of this webinar. It's so surreal. So when I saw them earlier, I was like, oh my god, it's like I was so starstruck. Yeah, so I watched the webinar, and I was like, oh, I like this. It's very, very interesting. I was still skeptical. However, I was like, I want to see it for myself. And so I signed up right away. I didn't really talk to my friend while I was doing it. I just told her I signed up because I want to see it for myself. I don't want to hear it from other people. I want to see it before I join this. On how you're going to make it work, on how I can make this work for myself, on how I can be successful on this. So, and just a warning, it's very addicting. It's hard for me to sleep. I always check my phone, and I always check my phone, and I keep on thinking about this business all day, every day. So it's just a warning. It's very addicting, and it motivates me a lot every single day. And I'm very grateful. Thank you, Mike, Darren, and Leon, for creating this system and for letting all of us fulfill our dreams. I think that's it for me.
Beautiful job, Aika. Thank you. All right, Teresa, we saved the best for last. Girl, over to you.
Hey, Mike. Yep. Well, my name is Teresa, and I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, in Canada as well. And like everyone knows, so I and take a and I I'm new to it, but I'm loving it. I've met a lot of great people. I've been to 3 meetups. I've been to one in Red Deer. I went to one in Rocky Mountain House. That was a lot of fun. And recently I went to Souk for a week or 10 days and spent the time there with my mentee, and we had a great time. We went out on a whaling boat